If you're watching this video, it means that you're on the right path, that you're healing, that whatever you're working on to create or to achieve or to become, you are getting there. And an unexpected miracle will soon take place in your life, so expect it with an open heart. I want to give you a few signs that you can recognize in your life that you are moving through that process of healing, so you can become who you know that you're meant to be. And it means that you're walking on the right path. So when we're wondering what's the right path, only you can know. But firstly, you need to know what is your path. So we can know, well, the right path is the path you've chosen, right? For example, when you set some goals, you write them down, you see them clearly. The right path is when you are acting according to them. When your actions are aligned with your goals, that's the right path. But also the right path will be when your intuition may tell you that those goals have been influenced by your environment and there's actually something greater calling you. It's also the right path. And because of that, sometimes we experience that sense again of separation, like what's right? Is this right that I wrote down, like I want that amount of money and this and that? Or is this right? Like I want to help others, I want to heal, I want to be an artist or whatever. And the truth is, both two sides are right paths. And the point is that you learn to connect them. And that's how you will design a purpose. So, what are the 7 signs that you are healing on that great path of evolution? The first sign is that when it comes to situations, especially the uncomfortable one, you talk about the situation that caused you certain pain, and while you're talking about it, you may recognize that it no longer feels as painful as it did in the past. So for example, you've been through something traumatic in the past, maybe when you were little. And in the past you remember every time you were talking about it or even thinking about it, you got irritated, you got angry, you got fearful, you got scared or whatever it was. But as you've started forgiving, as you've started working on dealing with your shadows, right? Going deeper into the darkest moments you've been through, and you've started letting go of that pain by gaining greater understanding of what happened and realizing that maybe hurt people, people that hurt you because they've been hurt. And back at that time, you had no such understanding like that. So you thought those people don't like you, or like there's something wrong with you and that's why they're hurting you. Like you're a broken person and that's why they like to hurt you. You may thought like that in the past. But then later in life you've recognized those people have been hurt in the past as well, and that's their only way they knew how to deal with their pain, to express it to somebody else. And it just happened that you've been a victim of that process. There's a much bigger meaning to it that it happened, because most probably somewhere in the future you will recognize or you will find a way to use what you've learned to help others, because that's the main purpose why we are moving through hard situations like that. But you may recognize that as you're thinking and talking about the situations, you don't feel so much pain anymore. It's a sign that you're healing, and it's a great sign that you are on a right path. Because the thing is that emotional healing is not just something we should do, it's something we must do. Because only that way we can we can help society to evolve into a healthier way. Most of the world problems are caused because people have so many stored emotions in their bodies. They've been through so many traumatic experiences, and because of that we don't even know what could be the greatest expression of us. So we're just doing what we know that we should do, even though maybe it's not the healthiest expression of us. So we need to pay more attention to what's happening within us and how much it is influencing our perception of life. Because when you get pure, for example, you go into a truly peaceful meditation, and when you finish that meditation, you can see your life completely differently. You see more possibilities, more opportunities, you see more beauty in others. But when you get back into your maybe usual state, you start to feel bad again, you start to feel sad again. So you see, we need to find that inner peace. We need to find the way to the inner peace so we can start looking on life from that beautiful state. And it is possible through healing. The second sign that you're healing is that you allow your feelings to show instead of avoiding them. That's something truly important to understand, because sometimes it happens that we are sad. Something triggered us. Something happened. And we've been irritated. Or maybe we are sad. Or maybe we got angry. But instead of running away and distracting from them, we accept them. When you're able to sit down and accept your feelings because it's okay to feel it, there's a way to overcome it, there's a way to deal with it, there's a way to recognize what to do. But right now it's just okay to feel it. Let's see in what part of my body I feel it. Can I find a form of it? Like, in what kind of form this feeling is within my body? Maybe can I add color to it? In what kind of color it would appear? And you start observing yourself. You see, play with that. Be creative with that. That's why you have creative mind, to play with that. There's most of healing practices for self-healing are being done with creative mind. So use your creative mind for that kind of a greater understanding of what's happening within your body. And if you play a little bit more, you can, in your mind's eye, just pull it out of your body, this form in the color that you can see. You pull it out of your body, and as you pull it out, you may find an empty space inside of your body, and you fill it up with light. May the light enter through your crown center into your third eye, and may travel downward through your heart into that area where there was that pain, that sensation of pain, and fill it up with light. That's an ancient practice for healing. The third sign that you're healing and walking on the right path of your evolution is that you've started practicing forgiveness for yourself, maybe for others. It became a part of your daily routine. Like every single day, you can think about what you've done today, and maybe there was something like you've been thinking really negatively about yourself because you still hold to certain programs of limited beliefs. Nothing wrong with that. We are a work in progress. But you may recognize that you've been really hard on yourself. And instead of pulling yourself down and sabotaging, you've recognized that you've started forgiving to yourself naturally. Isn't that beautiful? Maybe somebody hurt you. And instead of being really, really angry, even though There's nothing wrong with anger. We can actually use it for a positive purpose, like doing a great workout, like making art. We can use it, we can channel it. There's nothing wrong with all emotions are beautiful if we know how to use them, if we learn to channel them. Just don't suppress them. If you don't suppress it, you express it. So find a way to express them, right? If forgiveness became a part of your daily life or weekly routines, it's a sign that you're on the right path of healing. And that's something truly important, something that you need to know. If you're forgiving, you're on the right path. And I always say to you, forgiveness, it's done for you. You're forgiving to yourself. You're freeing yourself with forgiveness. Sometimes people say, well, I don't want to forgive to that person because he or she was so mean. But at the first place, with forgiveness, you're freeing yourself. And that's what you need to know. But at the same time, you're cutting that cord that may be draining you every time you think about that person. So even though it's hard, it's important. The fourth sign that you're healing is that you've learned to stand up for yourself. Have you learned to stand up for yourself, to speak your truth, to be as authentic as you know how to be at this time? When we learn to stand up for ourselves, we learn to stand in our power. We recognize that nobody's here to save us because we need to learn to save ourselves. We need to learn to take care of ourselves. We need to learn to nurture ourselves the way we want to be nurtured. That's why it's important to know how you're upgrading your identity. You need to know how you're upgrading your identity to recognize who you are becoming. And you can only become that version of yourself if you take responsibilities for that. And that's what it means to stand up for yourself. You know that you have responsibilities and you are actually excited for that because it reminds you that it's in your power to experience or to make the changes that you wish to see. It's in your power to manifest what you want. It's in your power to get to where you want to be. It's in your power to attract towards you the right people, the people that will support you, people that will accept you as you are, people that will love you for who you are, people that will laugh with you, people that will be there for you when you will need them. It's in your power to attract this kind of people. When you stand up for yourself, when you're being honest, when you're being authentic, when you're being true. And remember, being authentic it doesn't mean that you should be perfect. Like you should be completely relaxed, you should be completely in peace with yourself. Being authentic, there's more stages to authenticity. For example, if you're constantly people-pleasing, if you're constantly living in a shadow or a shell, being authentic for you may be that just once in a month you say no at a certain point where you would usually say yes, but you feel like you need to say no. Even if you do it just once, it means that you're being more authentic than any time before. Or sometimes it may happen that you may just speak your truth at a moment that in the past you would never do it. So whatever it is, remember that there is no competition to that. It's just like, how can I be just a little bit more aware right now? What feels right? And can I embody it? Can I demonstrate it? That's why it's important to be in tune with yourself, to know that. So if you're standing up for yourself, my friends, you're on the right path. And you're in that great process of healing. I'm actually really proud of you. The fifth sign is that when you're thinking about something painful, you are actually grateful for how far you've come. And you put that smile on your face and you put your hands onto your heart and you say that you are truly proud of yourself. Like, of course, you could be different, you could improve much more, you know, our mind usually says those things. But on the heart level, you know that you are enough and you are exactly how you need to be. And like I said, there is no competition. If you are becoming more aware, more compassionate, more authentic than yesterday, it means that you are moving in that upward spiral of evolution. And even if you're not, it means that you have another day to try, to be, to see. So it's all okay. Just make sure that you don't give up, that you don't let your past dictate your future, that you don't allow your past to define who you are, and you actually recognize that you are all that you can be. That's where you will notice that there's nothing but gratitude, right? If you feel gratitude when you're thinking about the pain you've been through, it's a truly major sign of healing. And not many people can do it. But that's how you actually get out of this matrix system that's draining you with painful experiences. And then it's feeding you up with fear. So it's easier to control your mind, right? With the things and ideas of what you need to let go of the pain. Eat some sugar, watch some movies, do some of this, scroll a little bit, and you will feel better, right? But suddenly you find out that you can be grateful for how far you've come, and suddenly you recognize that you don't need any of that to feel okay with yourself, right? You can just grab a blank canvas and paint something. You can use your paint to paint a painting, right? And it may be a beautiful painting. It may be an inspiring artwork for somebody who's moving through what you've been through. So never forget about the power of the pain. Never forget about the power of the pain. There's some great art that was created out of the pain. Some great music you can find that was created out of the pain. We can always transmute the energy. It's the power of alchemy, right? And we all have this power. So don't forget about this. The sixth sign you're healing, that you're on the right path, that you're supported by your guides, by your higher self, means that whatever you've been through, you have a story to share with others. You feel inspired to share your story with others because you know that it can help somebody. Maybe just one person, maybe millions. You know, if you look around and maybe you look up to certain people that inspire you to be your greatest version. You may notice that all those people who inspire you are inspiring because they've been maybe through something similar you're going through right now. And at some point, all of these people have been through something painful. But at some point, they've recognized that they need to share their story because maybe it can help somebody. And in the past, I've started feeling like that as well. And I think we all start to feel like that. That's why we want to help our neighbors. We want to help our friends. We want to help our family. But not everybody is here to listen to us, right? That's why we can be so grateful for having the internet to share the message. And whoever will vibe with it can in tune with it. can connect to it. And that's beautiful. And that's something we should be grateful for. So if you feel like you have a story to share with others, it's a sign of healing. It's actually a sign that you're stepping deeper into your purpose. Like you have so much to share. And that's actually so beautiful because people start to build a whole new life around it. Some people become artists because they have story to share. Some people become scientists because they have a story to share. They have things to explore, to find, or to find the truth or a greater explanation of how to describe what they've been through so they can help others. And some people become writers. Some people start producing music out of it. Some people start helping saving animals or nature and so on because they have story to share. So you see, there's so many ways that can come out of it. And it starts with that awareness that what I've been through was an initiation for something much bigger than that. Maybe I can't understand right now, but I know that I'm guided towards where I need to be, and one day I will understand it. So be willing to seek what's waiting you in the future. And the seventh sign that you're healing and you're on the right path is that when it comes to your daily habits, you've become conscious about building up healthier ones. So every single day you put your effort into building healthier habits. Sometimes it works, sometimes you fail, but you know that you're upgrading yourself. You know that you need to do it. If you feel like you've started changing your habits, like maybe you've been smoking in the past and you've recognized that you just don't want to do it anymore and it was really hard for you, but you've started changing and eventually you made it happen, it's a sign of healing. Maybe you've recognized that you have a certain addiction and you had no idea how to break it until you had a bigger reason to do it. You had a bigger reason to do it. Like you want to prove to yourself that it's possible for you to overcome something that you thought in the past that it's not possible. And you've started working on it. And you've recognized that naturally you focused on something greater. You focused on the next version that's in the future. And you focus so much to that future version of you that you've recognized that you just can't be the same person anymore. You can't do the same things anymore. You need to change your actions. You need to change your behaviors. And as you've started changing your actions, your behaviors, you've recognized that eventually your habits changed. You can't do the same things anymore. And suddenly you've experienced the changes. If that's happening to you, maybe you're at the beginning of that process. I want you to know that you're guided, that you are protected, that you are on the right path. And all you need to do is to trust that you can do it. Even when it's hard, even when you fail. You know, when we fail, we always learn something new. Every time we fail, we learn something new. And I want you to pay more attention to what you've learned. Maybe you can recognize what triggered you, so you've fallen back into the old patterns. At what time you've been triggered? What did you do that you've been triggered? Have you been drained out? And that was the reason you've been triggered, to fall into the old patterns. And that is already a greater understanding of yourself. When you learn something new, you grow. And when you grow, you change. And when you change, you experience changes. And when you experience changes, you recognize that you've actually manifested them. And when you recognize that you've actually manifested changes, you recognize that you have that creative capacity, the power of manifestation, that's helping you to create the life you want to live. So never lose the faith into your own power. It's time for you to free yourself from anything that is not helping you to believe into yourself. Hey my friends, I hope you've enjoyed in today's video. I want to remind you that we've just opened a fresh new store called AttractPassion.com, where you can find all of my work, original paintings. You can find prints of all of my art in different sizes, so go there and check it out, AttractPassion.com. If you will use the code PASSION15, you will get 15 off onto your first order. So go there and check it out. And to anyone who would love to work with me one-on-one, I'm offering one-on-one coaching. We have some free spots once again. You can go and check out the link in the description of this video where you can find everything there. So go and check it out. If you would like to do something with the inspiration that you feel right now, it will help you so much to transform your life. I want you to do something with it. If you feel inspired, you have to do something with it. So my friends, till next time, one love.